You ever feel like you're watching history try to happen? Like it's screaming from the floor, pounding at the door, begging for its moment, only to watch it get snatched away at the last second? Like some cruel twist written by fate with a smirk on her face? Because that's exactly what it felt like watching Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever go to war with the Las Vegas Aces on June 22nd in what can only be described as a pressure cooker of a showdown between an unstoppable dynasty and a star studded revolution in progress that's still learning how to win. And yeah, we can talk about the score, 89 to 81 in favor of the Aces. Or we can talk about the 16-game losing streak that just won't die, like a horror villain that keeps getting back up after every three-point dagger. But the real story? The real story is how this game was the Fever's for the taking. For most of the afternoon, until the Aces remembered who they were, threw on the cloak of champions, and slammed the door shut in a fourth quarter that will haunt Indiana until at least July 3rd. And look, let's not sugarcoat this. This wasn't just a regular season L. This was a missed opportunity to rewrite 5 years of heartbreak, a slip through the fingers, and Caitlin Clark. She showed flashes of everything that makes her the most polarizing and magnetic force in the league right now, notching a 19-point, 10-assist double-double, her 18th of her rookie season, but also coughing up 8 turnovers and shooting a painful 1 for 10 from three-point range. And that right there sums up the whole vibe of this game. Brilliance tangled in chaos, potential wrapped in frustration, progress stained with heartbreak. And if you're a Fever fan, you felt all of that in real time. From the electric second quarter, where Indiana exploded with a 12-2 run, capped by Clark finally drilling a deep triple over Aja Wilson and unleashing a scream that sounded like all of Indianapolis exhaling at once, to the slow motion unraveling in the final frame when the Fever, holding a lead that once stretched to 10, just couldn't close the deal. And listen, I don't know what Becky Hammon said in that Las Vegas locker room at halftime, but it worked because the Aces came out for the second half like a team on a mission to remind the world that the road to the WNBA throne still runs through them. And suddenly, Jackie Young was slicing through the lane, Chelsea Gray was orchestrating like a symphony conductor in sneakers, and Aja Wilson, oh my goodness, Aja was playing like she wanted to make every Fever fan cry on the way out of the building, finishing with 24 cold-blooded points and 7 boards while sending a not-so-subtle message that the crown still rests firmly on her head. And Indiana? They looked rattled, disjointed, like a team that realized the weight of what was slipping away because it wasn't just a game, it was a chance to change the narrative, to prove that this isn't just a fun young team with a flashy rookie, it's a threat. But threats have to finish, and the Fever just didn't. And the worst part, you saw it coming like a slow train with the brakes cut, because even in that third quarter, when Caitlin dropped 8 of her 13 points in a mini burst of fury, it still felt like the Aces were circling, waiting, coiling. And when the fourth started, boom, Vegas dropped 31 on Indiana's head, suffocating them with pressure and precision, and just enough veteran swagger to silence the noise. And all of this makes the loss sting even harder because Indiana did so many things right for so long. Aaliyah Boston was an absolute menace, putting up 26 points like she was playing on a cheat code, hitting contested looks, crashing boards, owning the paint, and Clark, even with her cold shooting night, was dishing out dimes like candy, connecting on behind-the-back looks, full-court lasers, no-look bounce passes that made you shout at the screen. And for a moment, just a moment, it felt like the next chapter in this rivalry was about to be written in bold blue ink. But just like that, the pen ran dry, and the same story got stamped on the back page. Aces win, Fever learn, again, And I get it. Clark is a rookie, the team is still growing, and Las Vegas is still Las Vegas. But man, this one hurts because it felt winnable, like it was there for the taking. Like the streak was one quarter from snapping and finally releasing this team from 5 years of torment. And now it stretches to 16 straight losses, all the way back to August 27, 2019. And you start to wonder, is this just mental now? Is it more than matchups and schemes? Is it psychological warfare at this point, where every fever possession against Vegas is shadowed by ghosts of games past? And every time Clark pulls up from three, she's not just shooting against a defender, she's shooting against history and pressure and expectations that grow louder every week. And it's easy to pile on, to point at her 8 turnovers and cold shooting and say, she's not ready. But that's lazy because what you're seeing is a generational player learning on the fly under the harshest spotlight any rookie's ever had. And she's doing it with grace, grit, and an edge that says, I'll be back. And the truth is, games like this are the ones that build champions, even the painful ones, maybe especially the painful ones. And the fever, they're building something brick by brick, heartbreak by heartbreak. And while this loss might feel like another chapter in a never ending cycle, you better believe it's planting seeds. And when this team finally blooms, when Clark and Boston and this young core finally put it all together, you're going to look back on nights like this and realize they mattered. And yeah, July 3rd is circled on every calendar now because that's the next shot, the next duel, the next chance to stop the bleeding and finally knock the champs off the throne. And you better believe the fever will be itching for it, desperate for it, because this rivalry, it's not just building, it's boiling. And even though Vegas came out on top again, they felt Indiana breathing down their necks. They know this isn't the same team from years past, and they might have escaped this time. But every game, the margin shrinks, the confidence builds, and one of these nights, Caitlin Clark is going to walk into that arena and hit those shots, not miss 9 threes. And when she does, oh, you'll feel it, because that first win over Vegas, that's going to be a moment, a league-shaking, crowd-erupting, streak-breaking eruption of emotion and validation that'll be replayed for years. But until then, the fever will have to sit with this one, digest it, grow from it, and come back swinging, because the story ain't over, not even close. It's just getting started. And nights like June 22, they're just the kindling for something bigger, something that's coming. And when it hits, we'll all remember where we were,